Hi everybody, and it's Saltash Tutors, and today what we're going to be going through is the exact values of sine of an angle, cos of an angle, or tan of an angle when that angle is 0, 30, 45, 60 or 90 degrees. You'll see my annotation here says theta, but it could be x or any type of notation you want for your angle. This covers the Edexcel and AQA syllabus requirements at G21. You can check those out if you want to. Now this all sounds a bit complicated, but all you're going to need to work this out is your hand. That's it. Your hand and a little bit of an imagination and you'll be there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to label our fingers. 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Now it doesn't matter whether you're left or right-handed, I just use my spare hand, which in this case happens to be my left hand because I write with my right, and I imagine the numbers on my fingers. Next thing I want you to know is that everything to the left is sine and everything to the right is cosine. Don't worry about what that means at the moment, just remember left is sine, right is cosine. And the next bit is that whatever number we come up with, again, just go with me on this one, I'm going to take the square root of it and divide it by 2. So that's where we are at the moment. So after I've told you all of that, let's just see an example. So, what if I wanted to know what the sine of 30 was as an exact value? Well, you'll remember that my fingers are labelled 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90 degrees. You'll also remember that everything to the left that I'm going to count is sine, okay? And all I do is firstly I block out the finger that I'm not interested in, and I count how many fingers I have to the left. I also remember that I'm going to do the square root of the number I find, and this is going to be the fingers I find to the left divided by 2. Well, how many fingers have I got? I've just got 1. So it's going to be the square root of 1 finger left divided by 2. And you know that the square root of 1 is 1. So the answer is that sine of 30 degrees equals a half. Now that was quite long-winded. And I'll go through that again just to show you. Quick rewind. We'll start about there. Labelled up the fingers. Sine to the left. Hold down or imagine the finger that you want to get rid of. Remember that it's the square root of whatever number I find, which is the number of fingers to the left divided by 2. It's just 1, so it's the square root of 1 divided by 2, and that's it. Another example. Now I'm going to speed things up a little bit. What if I want the sine of 60? Well, remembering sine is to the left, cosine to the right. My finger's labelled as it, and that whole square root of the number of fingers left divided by 2, and I want 60. So, that's the finger I'm not interested in. I have 1, 2, 3 fingers to the left. So the answer is it's the square root of 3 divided by 2. 3 fingers divided by 2. Now, because it's an exact value, you don't work it out. That's what the answer is. Square root of 3 over 2. Let's go for another example. Let's go crazy and let's work out the, cosine of 30 degrees. Okay, so what do? Scribble out the finger that I'm not interested in. Cosine. Now cosine is to the right. How many fingers have I got to the right of the finger I'm working out? I've got 3 fingers. That means the answer is square root of 3 divided by 2. And for the clever amongst you, you'll see that that's exactly the same as the sine of 60, and that's another relationship we could come to. A few more examples. So let's now look at the, let's look at the sine of 0 degrees. Okay, so that's the one I don't want. How many fingers have I got to the left of my thumb now? The answer is I haven't got any. So the answer to sine of 0 degrees is it's the square root of nothing divided by 2. Well, the square root of nothing is nothing, and nothing divided by 2 is nothing. So the square root of 0 is nothing. I could continue this because I can now look at what the cosine of 0 is. So the cosine, I'm just going to change colour here. Cosine is, well, there's the same finger that I'm interested in, but now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers to the right because it's cosine. So I'm going to have the square root of 4 divided by 2. Well, the square root of 4 is 2 divided by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1, and that's what the cosine of 0 is. So you can see you can get all sorts of things. This is, if you like, part 1 of the video. You've had nearly 6 minutes of me waffling on. Part 2 of the video should be separate. We'll be looking at some calculations using exact values. This has been Saltash Tutors. I hope you found this useful. If you do like it, subscribe. There's lots more where this came from. Thank you.